work their way into our lexicon, like the strike, like it's a preemptive strike. That means I hit you first. There's no such thing as a preemptive strike. You believe somebody's going to do something, and then you hit them first, right? And then alternative lies. So now, in order to deal with the ways that they have these conversations in the imagination, these things are introduced in our language. The difference between, I think, what Bush did and what Trump did, and I think the similarities is there were two stupid dudes, like two dumb men, who ham-handedly interjected themselves in the Middle East for whatever reason, for all these reasons, and they'll have long-range implications. Like whether it was, but the one thing Bush did do that Trump didn't do, he went to the world. He went to the UN and asked them to join him, and they did. But both of them have said that we believe that these men were going to do something. Now we have a principle in the most volatile parts of the world where a man can guess you're going to do something and commit treasure and money to defeating your belief of what's happening. But I think a lot of people might say that Trump did this thing to try to avoid an election. But America, we voted during the Vietnam War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Desert Storm, 9/11, Afghanistan, Iraq. So there's never not been a conflict. I think what we're seeing right now is a man who is unchecked. He is doing what the fuck he wants to. Like, he often talks about how he stopped 8 wars, but literally in the last 6 months, the president of the United States of America has murdered the leader of one country and kidnapped the leader of another. And he done it in the name of regime change. But at the same time, he's changing regimes around the world. He's trying to concoct a way to not let his country vote. So he wants regimes to change everywhere around the world except him. And the American people, by and large, are rejecting what he's doing. They don't like what's happening right now. They don't like his stance on immigration. They don't like his tariffs. They don't like this war. Mm-hmm. I blame the Congress more than anything else because they are supposed to be the check that stop these things from happening.
Well, here's his direct quote about the war and why. He said, "We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that." All
right. He also felt strongly about the Central Park 5.
He did indeed.
I don't know when he's been right. He also felt strongly about, January 6th.
Obama's birth certificate.
Or Obama's birth certificate. So I think that Donald Trump, and I think it's not disingenuous to say this, is a liar. He lies when the truth will do. This is an old adage, and I don't think it's just him specifically in this instance, but the American president, when poll numbers is down, always bombs somebody black or brown. This nation claims that it's tired of war, that it's tired of these interdictions, and tired of being involved in all these foreign wars, but the people never rise up. And I think the one thing, whether you believe in this or not, because all it takes is a bomb to be dropped, and then all of a sudden, whatever stance you had before fades away, because there are a lot of people who supposedly voted for him because they thought that there would be no more new wars. And look how many he started. The very thing he's doing in Iran right now, he tore up the agreement that Obama wrote because he didn't want this nigga to have wrote nothing. You can say whatever. I argue with that dude on TMZ for the same thing. You tear these things up. You don't have something in place. Then you bombed them in June of last year, and you told us you obliterate their nuclear capacity, and now you're doing the exact same thing all over again. But I do think that it was whether you like what happened or not, there is no doubt that it wasn't well thought out because there are soldiers that are in danger because the structures that they're hiding in or that they're placed in aren't fortified. There's a lot of American people who can't leave. They weren't given a heads up. They couldn't get out. They weren't warned to get out because for any number of reasons and now so you have a lot of people that are trapped, and there's no. One day, Marco Rubio says it's this. Marco Rubio says it's this. Donald Trump says it's this. This is a war looking to search for a reason. And the one thing is, when you don't find these weapons, when we find out, whether it was like, what happened in Iraq, we don't ever apologize. There are hundreds of thousands of people that are dead. in the Iraq War, there were more concussive brain injuries than any time in history. There were more amputees in that war than any time since the Civil War. The one great thing that comes out of war is medical advancement. Like a lot of those injuries, those concussive brain injuries would have killed a lot of people, but those surgeons and those doctors became so good, people that are living now that wouldn't have been before. People think that it's might that wins. But look at the way the world's rejoicing, or people are rejoicing because Khomeini's dead. You don't think it's going to be a party or two when Trump kicks the bucket? You literally don't know how hated he is. You don't understand how, when that dude dies, Footloose is going to look like a high school prom. And so I think that we tend to view things through our prism. But the one assailable truth is that we have killed a lot of people from that part of the world, whether it's bin Laden or Khomeini or Gaddafi, people from this terrorist group or that terrorist group. Or we've killed, people who were first in line and second in line, and people who are emerging and terrorists. We've killed a lot of people from that part of the world. And if you could murder your way to freedom, we'd have done it. You can't kill your way to peace, because all of these people have people behind them who want. What do you think is going to be the net result of people that grew up in Iran and saw a school that got obliterated with 150 school children? Or that saw their leader get killed? People do not understand. Bombs and bullets kill people, never ideals. They never do. If that works true, this would already be over. And we can have any number of experts talk about what's happening here, but ultimately it's this. It is powerful white dudes who want a resource and want to take it, but want to look like they're altruistic in it. Like, we're going to pretend like we want you to have freedom, but really we want this oil. Right. We do. We don't give a shit about any of that. We want your natural resources. If more dinosaurs had died here than died over there, we wouldn't be having this conflict. Everything we're seeing right now, we've seen before. Even in this particular war, we displaced the leader and put the Shah in. And then they rose up. That you saw Argo. Then they rose up.
That's true.
That wasn't just. Then they rose up and displaced him, and then he had to leave, because what he did is he took all the money and tortured the people, and they hated him, and he was an American puppet, and they hated him. Then they replaced him with an Ayatollah. But we've seen this movie before.
And it should be noted that, like, Iran actually had the first democracy in the Middle East.
Sure.
With Mossadegh.
But it's really kind of an interesting place we find ourselves in, because nothing is happening differently. It's like watching the Titanic 19 times and hoping the boat don't sink.
Right. I think they're going to make it.
This time,